this new moon energy. So before I get started, good afternoon, good morning, good day. I am Dania. I'm an E5 priestess and spiritual awakening doula for the African American diaspora. I also dabble in some astrology and numerology. So we're going to get all of those things. Make sure you say hello. Thank you for everyone that has already tapped the screen. Much love, much love, much love to you. I may do a collective reading. I shuffled my cards before I got started while I was trying to get myself situated. So I did not give y'all a whole entire show. Um, and I was like, well, I haven't done a collective reading for in a while either. So we'll see how this goes. I'm just gonna go with the flow. I wrote down thoughts and feelings, nudges regarding the spring energies. So I'm gonna do this as effectively as I can without my glasses. Um, and then I'm going to go ahead and anything else that I feel like an intuitive hits that I get. So I woke up this morning thinking about what this week had. So we have the spring equinox tomorrow. For those who like times, so midnight is the new moon. And one thing I have not heard anybody say that is a fact, it is a solar eclipse. We have this new moon is a solar eclipse. I haven't heard a single person say that. So let me just go ahead and tell y'all, in case you didn't know, that this new moon is in fact a solar eclipse. So we have a solar eclipse happening with this new moon. We'll talk about what that means potentially, especially for your rituals and things and whatnot. Then 5 hours, 5 hours later, no, 10 hours later, sorry, 10 hours later, then we have the actual spring equinox. So I'm East Coast time, so you can do your math for your own time zone, but at 5:24 p.m. is officially the time of the spring equinox. So, oh, okay. I'm like what? Like, why does it say I got money? Okay, all right. I didn't even put on here that I was doing readings today. But yeah, the spring equinox is at 5:24 p.m. So we've got that. Then on May 23rd, I tried to get the exact time, but I could not find it. But May 23rd, Pluto will give us a nice little sneak preview of how it's going to spend its time when it moves out of Capricorn into the sign of Aquarius. And I don't know about y'all. I am both excited and a little nervous. I won't lie. Given where this is happening in my birth chart, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous. So for my folks that maybe aren't new to astrology and things of like that nature, like why does this matter? Why should I even care? This is how I always explain astrology for folks, because this is for me why it makes sense. The creator, God, goddess, source, all, the most high, whatever, Olodumare decided, hey, we need these planets. And then you're going to be like, well, why? And so you can have one of two beliefs. They look cool. They do look cool, but you could believe that was the driving force behind why God decided we needed the planets and the stars and the asteroids and the things happening in the cosmos. Or you can, sorry, Facebook Messenger going off, my bad. Or there's a reason for it. Just like there's a reason for everything else. Even if we don't understand the bigger picture, thankfully, God tapped several folks called astrologers on their shoulder and said, hey, you're going to specialize in telling these people why the planets move. They're going to forget that, they know this information. So you're the one that's going to help give them the information. And the energy is moving through the planets, and thus it's moving through our planet, and we will react in some capacity to this energy there. That's the short version. You want something longer? I got plenty of blogs and YouTube videos. But let's get into this equinox. So what does the equinox actually mean? So in a practical sense, the word equinox means equality of night. It's the equality of the night and day. So day and night equal at the equinox. Okay, cool. Spring. It's happening during it marks the beginning of spring, and the beginning of spring is marked by this equality. So that means the days, where it's been dark a lot, our days are getting ready to get longer. Things are waking up in nature. The ground is more fertile for planting. Plants and flowers and trees are being reborn. So that's practical. There's nothing spiritual in that. That is practical. That's exactly what is happening. So how does this reflect spiritually? Well, your spiritual practice should also have some practicality to it. So the spring equinox, just like what it says is happening in nature, this is what is happening in our life. This is how this is happening. So we have new life being brought into us. Uh, uh, oh no, oh no. I'm so sorry to hear that, hun. And good evening to you as well. And definitely deep prayers for y'all in Florida. So we've got the spring equinox happening. This means new life, new beginnings, things that you may have thought were gone, dead, did not have any life left into them. Those things you may actually be becoming reborn. Um, and then it's about balance and harmony, because again, equinox means equal. This is balance and harmony. This is reciprocity. This is give and take. This is give and take. So there we go. We've got the sentiments. So when we look at our life, and this is how I tell people, like, astrology doesn't apply to me, blah, blah, blah. This is, it's just a coincidence. It's a coincidence that almost everyone was cleaning their house at the same time. It's a coincidence that everybody's cleaning their house up right now. In some capacity, they are feeling compelled to clean their house. They're feeling like, I got to throw away all these old clothes. They're feeling like, I got to get rid of this old stuff. Why? Because it's old energy. They want to get rid of it because it's old energy. They may not have the words. They may not realize that's what's happening, but that's what's happening. They want to get rid of it because it's old energy. And so they're inviting in new energy by making space for it. And sometimes that's a lot of times what we forget when we're praying for things, when we're trying to manifest things, whatever nomenclature sits right with you. Sometimes you have to make room for that which you desire. Sometimes things have to be cleared away. Things have to be removed so that that which you want has some space to go. Thinking about, like, let's say you're stuck in a relationship that ain't going nowhere. It's not going anywhere. It's not growing. It's not going to move. That is not the destiny of the thing. It is for a season, not a lifetime. But your lifetime is out there. But because you want to hold on to the season, you don't want the season to end. You don't want the season to go away, even though the ground has long since stopped being fertile. There's no room for it. Those two things cannot occupy the same space at the same time. So something got to go. Something got to go. So when springtime comes, we all feel this overwhelming urge to clean, throw things out. I know this morning when I woke up, and it's not even the day of the equinox, I'm in my kitchen cleaning and I'm tossing out my recyclables and all of these good things. Even my son was trying to help me clean. And it's like, okay, something's coming. Something new is coming. So I'm just like, I received that. I'm ready. Let go. Let's go. So think about where in your life you've been feeling like cleaning things out. Where in your life have you been shedding things? Where in your life have you been letting things go? Because that could easily be reflective of something new coming into your life. Hey, curvy plant lady. Something new coming into your life, and there needs to be room made for it. You're doing some pruning, if you will, in your life, so that the new growth can happen. That's what our spring equinox is all about. So just keep in mind that. I also took a look at the numerology of the day. So this is a 3-day numerologically. March is a 1 month for us as a collective. So 1 is all about new energy and new beginnings. And you can see this reflective in so many things. No planets are in retrograde. That means we're in this complete, everything's moving forward. There's nothing stagnant. There's nothing being still. Everything's moving forward. Then this month specifically, we had 2 planets move forward from one sign to another sign. Again, this symbology of we're moving forward, we're not stopping, we're keep going, we're building momentum. And so now we get to this equinox where it says, not only are we building momentum, but we're now bringing things into balance. We're now bringing things into balance. We're bringing things into alignment. When I was thinking about if I had to pick, I'm an E5 practitioner, so if I had to pick an Odu, I was thinking about Ejiogbe. And Ejiogbe is the principle of open roads. It's open roads are aligning to you're in alignment with your destiny. You're in alignment. There's nothing in your way. There's nothing stopping you but you. You're completely in alignment. You're ready to keep moving forward. So that's what you should start thinking about as we move into the springtime. What new seeds do you want to plant? What plants did you think that maybe had died, but they actually are getting ready to have a rebirth? What new paths are open up for you? Are you ready for these new paths? 3 energy is like the Empress, and the Empress is lavish abundance. This is uncommon abundance. This is prosperity. This is, I'm going to have all of prosperity, all of the abundance, period. And I'm going to accept it with ease. Also, you have to be in a place of acceptance. Things that people do during the spring equinox, we already talked about spring cleaning, anything that's going to symbolize new life. So there's a plant, I don't know what this company is, but they always come and park by Wingstop. And so last year I bought wings and plants. Every time I got wings, I got a plant. Bring some new life, some literal new life in your house. One thing I did really early in my journey is I put my intentions on a piece of paper and I put them under a plant and planted new pot and planted new seeds in it. This year, I'm thinking about doing the same thing, but on bay leaves. I'm thinking about taking bay leaves and writing the things, letting them be my seeds and putting them in a pot and then planting trees. And as I nourish and nurture and love on the plant, I'm also nourishing and loving on those intentions and those seeds, helping them grow and flourish and manifest. So that's something you can think about. Doing your regular physical cleaning, doing your spiritual cleansing, taking taking sweet baths. Actually, I need to do mine tonight. Taking sweet baths to invite sweetness into your life as we move into this new season. So those are some things to think about. We also on the same day, not at the same time, but at midnight, we have the solar eclipse, which is our new moon in Aries. So new moon in Aries, helping people grow by learning to learn. Yay! So new moon in Aries. So Aries is the sign of I am. It is the sign of the self. It is a sign of your identity. So we have a new moon happening there. And it's not simply just any new moon. It's a super moon and it's going to be a solar eclipse. I genuinely wish I could see that. It's happening at midnight. I'm not going to get to see the solar eclipse because it's already going to be dark here. But if you live in a country where you could potentially see the solar eclipse, you know, do not look at it directly, but see if you get some safe ways to see it, then by all means enjoy it. So for those that don't know, solar eclipse occurs when the moon is between the sun and the earth. So symbolically, the moon in astrology, the moon is us in our core. It is our inner being. If you wanted to think about like your birth chart, your rising sign, that's your curb appeal. That's how you immediately present to people. That's your outward manifestation. When they come and get to know you, so you think about if you were a house, that would be the curb and how your house looks on the outside. That's how they know you. But then when they come in and they sit in your living room is your sun. This is where you shine. This is where you really feel comfortable. This is how you shine. But only special people really get to see the depth of your being, which will be like in your bedroom. So your moon sign is your needs. It's what makes you feel safe and secure, how you feel nurtured and comforted. So this is going in between the sun, which is our ego. This is our self. This is our where we shine, but in the shine in a way that we feel like we're supposed to shine. Like we have to shine this way because this is what is expected of us. and then Earth, which is us being grounded. And the sun is like, this is what the moon is coming in and like, I'm about to block out the sun. Um, I'm about to block out the sun so that way you can't see all that's supposed to be coming. So there's surprises in store. Solar eclipses in general are times of surprises because there is something that's a luminary that's no longer illuminated. So in this case, with a solar eclipse, that's the luminary that is no longer being illuminated. So there are things that are going to be hidden from us with this new moon. So new moon solar eclipses, you could set your intentions, but this one, solar eclipses are a time of fate. This is where divine intervention steps in. This is where spirit is like, hey, I know these are the seeds you really want to plant, but I've already been doing some gardening. You just don't even know that it's happening yet. So as you're planting your seeds, I've already been planting these other seeds. These seeds I've got are bigger than the seeds that you have. They may take over your garden. Oops, are bad. So these are big things happening, shakeups, twists of fate, destiny, and these will have a ripple effect over the span of 6 months. So you have a lunar month that occurs. So there's like the new and the full moon within a month. But then you have your lunar cycle, which happens in the same zodiac sign. So we're going to go from the new moon in Aries all the way over to the full moon in Aries, which happens in Libra season. So the seeds that we plant now, we won't see the effects, the harvest, the fullness of them until Libra season when we get that full moon in Aries. This is also a time of release, which is not normally associated with new moons. New moons are normally not talked about in that way. But because it's a solar eclipse, this is like, hey, I got to shake some things up. And you know what? There's some things you got here. We need them out the way. We need them out the way. So those things that you haven't let go of, that spirit has been trying to tell you, that your intuition has been trying to tell you to let go of, yeah, just expect that. For those of you who like to do work with the moon and do moon rituals and things of that nature, tonight ain't the night. Or if you want to do it before midnight, let's just say that. You do not want to be actively doing it during the eclipse. Now, new moon energy is potent for 3 days before and 3 days after. So a couple of days after, if you want to do it, okay. But if you're like, I'm going to do something at midnight when because it's going to be chaotic. The energy is chaotic. So it may not have the effect or the impact that you would like it to have because the energy it's doing its own thing. This is not one of those like And new moons, right, are intention setting anyway. Manifesting is with your waxing moon. So just let the solar eclipse settle and then start setting your intentions. So I looked at where this is happening in the United States because that's where I live. And yes, there is a birth chart for the United States. Anything that was an idea and then became birthed into physical reality has a birth chart. So this is your business, your kids, your projects, all of these things have a birth chart. So the United States has a birth chart. So what I did is I decided to take a look to see where this is happening in the country. And this will have like an undercurrent. So you may not feel this really directly, but you will see this manifesting around you, maybe in other people's lives. So the United States is a Sagittarius rising. So ruled by Jupiter, that's its ruling planet. Okay, you know what? Let's just talk about that. So the chart of the United States, the ruling planet is Jupiter. Jupiter is actually sitting in Aries right now. So yeah, we may see some serious shakeups happening in the States. And it relates to things about like home and family and things of that nature, because that's where it's happening. It's happening in our 4th house for the United States. So this is the area of your home, family, your private self, your roots, your ancestry, anything that would be indicative of things that you were ingrained in you as a child or throughout your lineage. The 4th house is all about lineage. You may also see some things happening in the area that's related to the 10th house. 10th house is legacy. So you have your lineage and then you have your public self, which is your legacy. And so when we look at our legacy, there may be some things that come out around legacy for us as individuals in the United States. The 10th house also represents your public self. So how do people see you, recognize you publicly? This is your position in the world. This is authority. This is reputation. This is career. So you may not see these things like in a very direct sense, like you will see the things in your own birth chart. But if you are in the States, you will likely see some of these things happening around you, some things happening, manifesting in a way that's specific to our country itself, or just, businesses and entities and things of that nature. You may see some things like maybe, all of a sudden they're like, okay, you know what? We need to do better about people working from home, or some things changing with work from home policies. Like I know a couple of companies where they had really flexible ones, maybe, they started restricting them more, and you may see that going in the opposite direction. So those are just a few things regarding the new moon. Let me see. Also, you may also see this in group interaction, because Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars also rules Scorpio traditionally. So Scorpio is in our 11th house for the United States. And so that is the area, if your legacy will lead to your dreams fulfilled. So your 10th house is your legacy. The 11th house is the house of your dreams being fulfilled. It is your house of your hopes, your dreams. It's also a social house. So it's humanitarianism, social groups, social activities, your social connections. So the groups of friends. Don't think best friends. Best friends is your 7th house. These are groups like your clique. Like your groups of friends that you hang out with, groups that you associate with. So like, let's say if you're in a fraternity and sorority, they would be represented in your 11th house. So those are some things, just some key words to remember about Aries. Aries is cardinal energy. So it is initiating an action. So it's at this time, we are being asked to take action. And considering there are no planets in retrograde, this is action that's going to be unencumbered. This is action that's actually going to have an impact and have a result. But we have to actually take the action. My spiritual godmother posted the other day, like, get out of analysis paralysis. Stop overthinking, because overthinking simply keeps you still. It keeps you from taking action. It keeps you from going forward on the thing. Just go forward on the thing. Just go forward on the thing. Like today, I have a live scheduled on here. Well, sorry, YouTube, on TikTok at 5:00. But so I wasn't going to do anything else. But I really felt called to talk about the new moon, the equinox, and we're getting ready to go into Pluto. So this is taking action. And this is taking action that aligns to who you are in your identity. If you have not been standing in your authenticity, you are going to be asked to do so directly, immediately, standing in your own authenticity, and to stop hiding and stop playing small. Aries does not play small. It's the god of war. It's like, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to say it with my whole entire chest. Like, this is what I want to do, and so I'm going to do it. That's how I feel about the situation. This is what I'm going to do. This is what's important to me, and I'm going to go ahead and just jump on it. So those are some things just to think about with Aries and the new moon. Let's talk about Pluto. So Pluto has been hanging out in the sign of Capricorn for umpteen years. I think it's been like 15 years, honestly. And I'm just like, for me personally, it has been in the area of my close and personal relationships. It's been in the area in my 7th house, which is the house of marriage, contractual relationships. So think about like your boss or your spouse, and these are the house of your best friends. It's the house of your disowned self. So it's the area of the life that is related to the part of yourself you don't acknowledge is in you. And thus that's what you're attracted to in other people, because you feel like it's not a part of you. You need to look for it in somebody else. So that's where it's been hanging out for me. You have to look at your birth chart and see where it's been hanging out for you, but that's where it's been hanging out for me. And I'll be glad when my relationships can, move, because move forward without ending. Pluto is the ruler of transformation. So consider the death rebirth cycle in a metaphysical sense and physical sense. This is the planet Pluto, and it's amazing to me that this planet, who from an astronomy perspective is no longer considered a planet, has such a strong impact on us, and it impacts us generationally. Because it stays in a sign 10 or more years, it impacts an entire generation for the most part in the similar fashion. So for me, I was born with Pluto in Libra. So Libra is all about balance, harmony, things of that nature, relationships. And so everyone in my age group, born in the same year as me, and things like that, we would be experiencing death, rebirth, and transformation in our relationships, and how we define these relationships, how we set boundaries and things of that nature. So looking at your birth chart, see where Capricorn is, because that's where Pluto has been, and what has been asked of you to transform, what ended and restarted, where have you adjusted your place of power in that particular area of your life. Capricorn is the sign of I succeed and I manifest. So where have you been trying to undergo transformation that leads to success, that leads to you manifesting your desires? And they're your desires, not the desires you feel like you should have because that's what society told you. Because that's what Capricorns have to learn. They have to learn what their own definition of success is. So when Pluto moves into Capricorn, if you had a definition of success in this particular area of your life that was not truly in alignment with who you are, Capricorn forced you to break it down. So let's take, for me, relationships. I had definitions. I had things that I said, these things are what makes sense to me in being in a successful relationship. And if it's not happening in this way, then is this relationship successful? Is this relationship working? And so I had contracts, like soul contracts from lifetimes ago, that I had to end. I had some soul contracts that I had to end, that I enacted. And this was the lifetime they had to end. I had some redefining, like, what are my wants, needs, and desires in relationships? I had to acknowledge that Capricorn energy that I did not feel like was a part of my being absolutely was a part of my being. So these are some of the things you need to look at and reflect on, because this dip into Aquarius right now really is just a dip. It's going to dip in there March 23rd through June 11th. So consider this like the preview before the long haul. This is the preview before the long haul. So you're going to get that feeling of, pay attention. Pay attention to your feelings. Where are you feeling uncomfortable? Where are you feeling like you need a shift? You may see some immediate endings, like this is done. This cycle here is done. Pluto is not the planet to let you keep running amok. Pluto is not the planet that's going to let you keep sleeping on yourself, not getting that which you desire, because Pluto is the co-ruler of Scorpio. And Scorpio is the sign of I desire. That's what it's desire from a soul level. Like, think of Scorpio is the bottom floor of the ocean. For my Orisha practitioners, the other day I said I felt like Scorpio would be Olokun, the depths, the bowels of the ocean, deep into the murky shadows. That is where Pluto rules, the depths and the bowels of our being, that part of ourselves. Sometimes we don't want to go that far. We don't want to get that deep. And Pluto's like, I don't care. You've met a Scorpio. They do not care. You're going to be deep, or you're not going to deal with it. You're going to be deep, or you're not. So you get down there and you're being asked, okay, what are we growing that we need to uproot? Because that's what's the initial wave is probably going to feel like being uprooted. You're like, why is this ending? Why is that ending? Why is this not working out? And it's going to be like, what is happening? One, you are not being punished. You're not being punished. And I want to challenge the idea of being out of alignment. If you, depending on your belief structure and things like that, feel like you are an emanation, an incarnation that is embodied with a soul, which would be the energy of source, you cannot create a path that you did not already choose. You can't create a path that you didn't already choose. Thus, any path that you choose, whether it has outcome that you feel like is positive, or you have an outcome that you feel like is a negative, is still a path that you chose. See, language is everything. And the idea that you are doing something wrong, it's not that you're doing something wrong. Your intuition, your higher self, your spiritual team, they know all the pages in your life, your choose your own adventure book. They see all the pages. But they just know that instead of turning to page 13, you should go to page 27 because that particular path is going to be easier for you. It's not that the other path is wrong. It is that the path would be easier for you. This is going to get you to where you're trying to go in a much easier fashion. So understanding it from that perspective, one, you can stop beating yourself up. Every time something happens, stop beating yourself up. You just turn to a page that didn't have the best path. Turn to a different page. Turn to a different page. And Pluto is like, oh, we going on the best path because it rules desires. And when you desire something, you typically desire the best option. So Pluto is like, I'm going to help you get there. We're going to go to school and we're going to get there. So let me look at your life. Oh, okay. You thought this was good for you? No. You thought that was good for you? No. Oh, you want to keep playing small? No. No. No, no, no. So anywhere where those things need to be addressed, they will be. So you'll get that glimmer and get that glimpse of what's happening and what it's going to look like. And just pay attention. For y'all that don't journal, even if all you wrote down is today was a good day, just start there. Don't feel like when you start journaling, you got to write a dissertation every time you go to your journal. I journal often and I don't journal that way. So just write something to build the habit. Even all you write is like crap, because that's how you felt about the day. It was crap. Okay, cool. Write that one word down. Write it down. But this next couple of months, you just pay attention. Pay attention. When we are in an equinox, the veil is also very thin. Veil is also really, really thin. So pay attention to downloads. And for my folks who don't know what the download is, when you're sitting around and let's say you had a prayer about something, and then all of a sudden you just get a thought like, oh, okay, that's a download. The other day when I was reminded that I am not on a healing journey. I'm on an illumination journey because I'm not broken. I'm not fragmented. I am whole unto myself, but there are parts of myself that maybe I'm unaware of. There are parts of myself that I can't see clearly. And that's, well, how do you see something clearly? How do you make it stand out? You shine a light on it. So I'm on an illumination journey. That was a download. So pay attention to those things, because whatever you deem your spiritual team to be, they're going to be like, hey, the phone is off the hook. There's no busy signal. I'm going to go in here and boop, give it all to you. Just write. Even if you don't know what it means in the moment, write it down. If you see something, pay attention to synchronicities. And here's the difference between a sign and a synchronicity, because they are not necessarily always the same thing. A sign can be a synchronicity, but there's a nuance that's different. It's the timing of the thing. So here's a good example. Yesterday morning, I sat at my altar. I had to give offerings and things of that nature. And I said a prayer and I was like, look, God, I've done all the things. It smells good in here. The food is smelling real good because the sis was cooking yesterday morning. So the food smells real good. Everything smells good. Give me a sign that this is working. Give me a sign that, this is opening the doors, yada, yada, yada. So yesterday, I booked my first birth chart reading. And this happened within less than an hour of the prayer. Like I said the prayer, I think my god sibling and I were chatting maybe within 15 minutes. Like that was how fast. Maybe within 15 minutes of me saying the prayer, speaking the word, having the utterance of, this is what I desire, God. Can you look out? My god sibling and I were chatting. My god sibling saw a very old video. I did this video a while ago about me looking at my son's birth charts. Because for me, someone asked once what would have been a game changer. My birth chart. What would have been a game changer for me and my self-esteem as a kid would have been knowing even just sun, moon, and rising in my birth chart. Like God and I sat someplace in a garden, in the eternal garden, and said, here's this little, we're gonna make it, this is a recipe book of who you are. This is the recipe book of who you are, who you're going to be, how you're going to emanate, how you're going to shine, how you're going to be, how you're going to react to certain things, all of these things that make me who I am. And this is the recipe right here. And I know you're going to forget the recipe, but that's cool. I've already laid my spirit on several individuals, have the skill set and knowledge to help you get this information. And when it's time, you'll receive it. So if I had to give one thing to myself, my younger self would be my birth chart. So I have the ones for my sons. And it helps me to work with them, work with them on being the best version of them. And they're young. So when I say work with them, I'm not like work, because I genuinely believe that if you hate working a 9 to 5, why would you encourage your children to do the same thing? It's illogical. It's hypocritical at best. So I'll use my youngest because he's a really good example. My youngest son has a Scorpio moon. And the first thing I thought of was, oh my God, what am I going to do to my son? The reason why he has a Scorpio moon. Why? No, baby. He is very intuitive. At speech therapy the other day, he like, hey, okay, it's time to go. And he said no. And she asked him why. And she said, he looked at her and said, it's because you're sad. Why are you sad? She said she thought she had been putting on a brave face and yada yada. She didn't think it was on her, and it wasn't like she was crying. There was nothing, unless you were a true empath, that would have given it away. There was nothing. Like, she really was putting on the face. But my son is very proficient at paying attention to somebody's energy. It's because he has a Scorpio moon. Super, he knows stuff. And so they ended up having a mini conversation about what was going on with her. She admitted it, that she was sad. His Scorpio moon sits in his third house. Third house is the house of communication. So communication downloads things of that nature. It is also the house of your siblings. Your moon sign also represents your relationship with your nurturing parent, traditionally your mother. So the planet that is mother sitting in the place of the sibling. When I tell you, when we talk, you're probably like, are y'all? It's because that's how he energetically, I feel like mother, but I also feel like his sister. And thus, there's some days when he's talking to me, I can tell he's feeling me like mother. And there are other days he talks to me and I'm his kid sister, not even his older sister, because everyone he sees that's a child is a baby. My son is 5. Everyone he sees, regardless of size, stature, age, is a baby in his eyes. It's because his soul is old. He's like, it's a baby. It's a baby. And so he talks to me that way. And sometimes I have to say to my son, this lifetime, I am older than you, son. We're also very familiar because he's been my son previously, but that's another life. So even in my 7-year-old, so both of my children are neurodivergent, both of them are on the spectrum, and both of them go to speech therapy. One is more intense than the other. So my 7-year-old has the more intense speech therapy. And in his birth chart, you can see where there's a challenge in communication. I also have a similar lineup in my own birth chart where there's a challenge in terms of me being able to speak. Me speaking in front of people, if you told 10-year-old me that I would get on a video, let people see my gap and talk to them, negative. She'd look at you like, you are crazy, because I would never, ever do that. Never, ever, ever, ever do that. If you told 10-year-old me that she would get on a stage in front of hundreds of people and recite her poetry, never. The audacity would never be a thing. But you can see in my chart, not only is it an area of my challenge, it is also the area of my wealth. And so these are the things I look at for my sons, because I want to be able to support them in how they chose to be born into this world. I know there's not things that I can control and things of that nature, but if I at least understand them at a soul level, I can at least engage with them in a way that maybe would not without that information. They challenge me to look at parenting and how I communicate with them differently. So my god sibling saw this video where I talked about these things and asked me for a birth chart reading. And I'm like, uh, okay. And I said, you know what? Or like, how much would you charge me for a birth chart reading? So this is where that being open to receive your blessings comes in, because I sat at my altar. It's like, God, I need this, that, and the other thing. I need income. I need clients. I need these things. This is what I need, Lord. Can you go ahead and give me a direct sign that I know that these things are coming? So within less than 30 minutes, God is like, I got you. But are you ready? What you gonna do? Because normally I would have turned down the payment. My friends, normally I would have turned the payment down. Or I would have said, oh no, like I would have slept on myself. Oh no, I don't think I'm the right person. Knowing good and well, astrology comes to me naturally. And I have the resources to support me in anything that I'm not sure about. Why would I turn it down? So I had to show I am open to receive. I'm open to receive. My mother is writing a book, and there's a section in the book that one of her characters needs to be eulogized. They are moving him from one cemetery to another, and thus they're going to do a reburial, and they need a service. She knew she was not the one that could write the words. She's attached to her character. She didn't want to get emotional, so she asked me to do it. And she's like, how much will you charge me to write this? Now, I want you to think about your mom is like asking you to do something, and I want to do the kid thing, and I want to say, oh, but then I have to remember, I cannot reject my blessings. If God has put it on my mother's heart to ask me how much I would charge her to do this, I don't have to hit her in the head, but I need to say something so that I continue to show that I am open to receive the blessings, however they may come, long as it's for the good of all and harm of none. If you just want to put random checks in my mailbox, by all means, ching ching, I'm ready for them. This is what Pluto is going to ask of y'all. Pluto is going to be like, I'm going to take all this, I'm going to break all this stuff down, but it rules your desires. It wants you to be blessed. And that's all God wants. That's why God put all these energies around us to support us, wanting us to be blessed, giving us tools, resources to be in flow as opposed to floundering in the current. Either way, the current gonna move you. The current of life is gonna move you. But God is like, hey, I'm at least gonna show you. I'm gonna give you a life preserver if you put it on. I'm gonna give you a life preserver if you put it on and say, okay, these people are gonna say, hey, this is what's happening. And you can ignore it and feel like, you're on this planet and you live here with the rest of us. And thus you're sitting on God's creation while the rest of God's creation is doing all these things around you. But you are not impacted. So you can get tossed around by the current. Or you can all right, God, I see you. I got you, Lord. I got you. Don't toss me. That's all I'm asking is don't toss me. Like, give me a life preserver. Let me just kind of float on. Even if I can't row a boat, I got to be sitting on this thing and there's no oars. Just let my ride be smooth. I'm aware of the ride. I'm not going to let the boat pass me. Just let my boat ride be smooth. And that's what understanding all of these energies is about. It is not, so many people feel like, astrology negates God. Didn't God create all this? It's just simply that I feel like in those instances, your issue is you were not the one tapped to be able to see the information in this way. You were tapped to learn it. You were not tapped to be the one to share the information. You were tapped to receive. And it's okay to be the student. You don't always have to be the teacher. It is okay for you to be the student. But understand, trees, all of these, there is nothing in creation that was not blessed and said, all right, that's cool. Go ahead. These plants, yeah, cool. These trees, yeah, grow, cool. And pay attention to the trees. They've been here a while. They've been here a while. Give respect to the trees. That's all we're asking. Just respect that I created that. You see that out there? I created that. Respect. That moon in the sky, you think it's so beautiful? I created that too. And I only wanted to light your way at certain times in the month. Pay attention. There's a reason I want that light there at that specific time. You don't know why? Cool. I know a guy. I know a girl. I know a somebody that can tell you why the moon is lit up at this time and what you're supposed to see when the moon is lit and what's hidden from you when the moon is not. What are you supposed to illuminate in your life when the moon is lit, and what are you supposed to let go of when the moon is dark? Sometimes you are meant to be the student. Don't knock the teacher just because the teacher don't look the way that you expected. The learning's not coming the way you expected. Either way, understand that this is still coming from source. Like, hey, ain't nobody telling you to go, like, stand naked in the rain. I mean, it's cool. If you got like a really high fence and, you want to give gratitude for God making it rain and you want to do a rain dance. And you want to do it in such a way where it's safe and secure and nobody else is going to bother you, but do your fuck this. All I'm saying is that it's springtime, clean your house physically and clean your house and clean your soul house. Clean your house in your soul house. Your vessel, your body is your soul's house. Clean it. Love on it. Give it thanks and gratitude because it's about to have all this new energy to help you get things done. So give it thanks and get gratitude. Feed it well. Put beautiful things around you. If you're trying to attract beautiful things into your life, put beautiful things around you. And when I say beautiful, things that are pleasing to your eye, you can get things pleasing to your eye from the $1.25 store. That feels so weird to call it that. I want to call it the Dollar Tree so bad, but that's not what it is. The $1.25, $1.25 or more store. Put some beautiful things. They got some really cute faux plants. I got a really cute, what is this? I don't know, it's a plant. I got a really cute plant that sits over here. It's beautiful. I like the beautiful things. Put the beautiful things around you so that you just God be like, oh, hey, taps your guardian angel on the solar. Hey, John over there, John likes beautiful cars. John likes beautiful cars. So let's see what we can do to help John get a actual beautiful car that John wants to drive. Because John keeps being around these beautiful cars and test driving these beautiful cars. And so let's see let's drop a whisper in John's ear so that John could take these steps towards his beautiful car. It's just a matter of paying attention. It's just simply a matter of paying attention. Dude, did I go like 45 minutes? That's beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going to go live again in an hour and a half. So I want to be able to have some voice. So I'm going to do a really, really, very, 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 very quick past, present, future for the collective on what are we leaving behind? What did we leave behind as we've moved throughout these changes? Where are we at currently as a collective? And I know a lot of people, how does it mean it's a collective? If you know more than 2 people cleaning their house because it's springtime, collective energy. If you know more than 2 people who at the beginning of the year wrote down something, an affirmation, a resolution, an intention, collective energy. Collective energy is a thing because we all live on the same planet together and we are all one. Our physical vessels make us feel like we are separated, but scientifically, energy is not created nor destroyed. So that means there's only one original energy and we all emanate as an energy. We're all the same energy. We are just simply manifesting in different forms. This is why you watch a sad movie. Like all the people who went to go see Wakanda Forever, in the first 10 minutes, every single person I know said they were sobbing. Collective energy. So this is just a simple past, present. Yay for the Empress showing up like she did. Future. If you did not catch this at the beginning, especially for folks on TikTok, if you didn't catch this on the beginning, you can go subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Facebook because the playback will be in those 2 locations. But let's see. So we want to give all thanks and praise to the Most High for allowing us to see this beautiful springtime, for allowing us, this beautiful weather, for allowing for the yeah, so that y'all know why I said yes. I'm sorry. I'm so rude. I'm so rude. Oh, thank you for the likes. I don't know if that was YouTube or Facebook. I can't tell, but thank you anyway. Y'all know y'all got to speak on that side. I can't see you. So this is what came up. There we go. And I'll show y'all. So the Fool card is what came as I was just cleansing my deck. And that card is a card of faith. You're at the beginning of a journey. It's the card is 0, and 0 represents the cosmic egg. And the cosmic egg, in a scientific perspective, is the vessel, the womb that creation was birthed in. So it's infinite possibilities. Anything could be in here. We don't know. It's like a mystery egg. Anything could be here. But your faith is that whatever's in here is for my highest and greatest good. Look at this imagery. She is not looking at where she's going. She is simply going to fall because she knows that God's going to catch her. She is not looking where she's going. There you go. Look at her. All she knows is God's going to catch her. She's going to take the risk. She's going to take the leap because she knows God's going to catch her. No matter no matter where she goes, God's going to catch her. That's what the Fool energy is. So, oh, this is the Light Seekers Tarot. This is the Light Seekers Tarot. And yes, it is. Yeah, it's a beautiful deck. So let's see what our past energy was as we get ready to go in. This one. And our present. I just want to say sorry to YouTube and Facebook because y'all do not get this amazing angle that TikTok has with my beautiful table. Sorry. All right. What's present energy? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's up right too. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay, hold on. Okay, first off, so if you've never gotten a personal reading, look, wait. Okay, I'm not pulling out another. First off, so this is collective. This is collective energy. So this is the energy of anyone that is watching now who will watch it later. And let me just tell y'all how the fact that I mentioned earlier about paying attention to downloads. This is so cool. This is so cool. I mentioned earlier about Pluto is not going to let you hold on to things that do not serve you. All right, so this top row is what came out. This bottom row was the back of the deck energy and the undercurrent. So I'm going to start with the undercurrent energy. So what we have on the undercurrent is the Devil in reverse. And the Devil card represents the lovers are things we choose from our heart. The devil is the things that we choose from lack, the things we let control us, the things that we let string us along. So this could be you sticking to a job that don't serve you, which is draining to your being every time you clock in. This is a relationship that's draining to your being. The fact that it's in reverse says that the undercurrent energy is simply us letting that ish go. We are cutting ties with energies that do not support and do not serve us. And what happens when you cut those ties? You need healing and refreshment and loving and nurturing. And right underneath it is the Two of Cups. Right underneath it is the Two of Cups. This is harmonious energy. This is energy of healing. In the traditional tarot, the caduceus, the sign of the medical industry, is on this card. This is a healing card. It's also a card of relationship. So if you are someone who has experienced anything in an actual one-on-one relationship where there was either imbalance, a lack of reciprocity, because I said the equinox is about bringing things into harmony and balance. So if there was a lack of reciprocity or anything like that, things are coming back into balance and alignment for you. And I think that is so beautiful. And let me tell you how there's a progression. There's a forward momentum. I mentioned that earlier because right behind the two was the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups is a card of celebration. So you've cut ties with no longer what serves you. You've cut those things off. You let that thing go. Even if you haven't actively let it go, now you are in the energy is right for you to do so. And the moment you do so, that healing energy is going to come forward and you're going to feel so happy. The Three of Cups is a joyful energy. It's an energy of celebration. It's always with more than one person, 3 people, and they're celebrating like, yes, okay. And this one, they're looking at the Big Dipper. So y'all might want to do a little stargazing. Do some stargazing tonight because that'd be lovely. Then we had, and this is where I stopped because I could go on and on in the back of the deck. But then we have the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups, and so I got like a progression and then like a leap. It's like, so step, and I'm ready to take a jump. The Six of Cups is a card where it asks you to be in the present. Don't be focused on the past. Don't be over fixated on the future. Be here now. Be here in the moment. Allow yourself to experience the moments that are coming to you because these moments aren't going to come to you anymore. This transition from Pluto, from Capricorn to Aquarius, we're never going to experience that again. I mean, when we decide to become like, super beings and immortal, maybe, but in the grander scheme of things, we're not going to see this transit again. We're not going to see this happening like this again. So pay attention to what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and being in the moment and not allow yourself to get caught up in, oh my God, well, how could this be? And things like that. You have to be grounded. You have to be grounded. This is where a balance in your feminine and masculine energy is important. Feminine energy lacks boundaries and is not associated with time and space. Structure, time, space, physicality is masculine energy. And that's why they have to be in harmony. So you're not too far in one or the other, but riding nicely in the middle and ebbing and flowing as you need to. Just in and out, in and out, in and out like that in the middle. I don't know what's up the fishtail thing. I don't know what that was. So yeah, this is the undercurrent. So this is happening behind the scenes. So the past energy is the Five of Wands. So this could be one of two ways. The Five of Wands, all the five normally indicate a conflict of some kind. But this particular Five of Wands always looks interesting to me because it could be the traditional, this is a conflict, or this is you getting support to reach a goal. Like they're trying to get to this. So they're either competing to get to the flame or they are supporting that guy to get to the flame. Because see, this guy could easily be holding those wands in position and he's got this and creating stability and structure. So you know your life, you know whether you are ending conflict or you're in a space where there are people that are supporting you to get to this place that you're trying to get to. Then we have the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands is all about, okay, I'm gonna go. It's all right, I'm going. I'm gonna take this step. Like if you see like her feet, she's getting ready to take a step forward. She's getting ready to go somewhere. And you notice you can't see where she's going. It's just her surfboard, and water. She just simply, it's like the Fool card energy. She simply knows she's supposed to go. So that's what she's doing. She said, I just know I gotta go. I gotta go. So I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go. And for me, it's like, okay, in the past, you're trying to reach this flame and you see where the flame is, and now you're taking this other step to go get it. You're taking another step, but this step, instead of being a step that you're taking with a group of people, this is a step that you're taking solo. This, instead of this being a group effort, this is now you're in a place where you're ready to take this step by yourself. You're ready to do this on your own. And Aries energy is a leader energy. It's an initiator. It's also solitary. So this could also be very reflective of that space. Future is the Ace of Swords. And this is why I was like, whoo, because this card looks like somebody getting an download. Her mind is open, her eyes are closed, and the light from source, because all of the aces in the deck are God giving you something. All of the aces in the deck are a reflection of you receiving something from God. If it's in the Ace of Cups, God is handing you a cup, and the cup represents emotions, feelings, intuition, and creativity. If it's a sword represents communication, thoughts, and ideas. If it's fire, this is spirit and creation and will and drive. If the energy itself, if it is these swords of pentacles, this is something material. So this could be new money, new job, new project, something that's tangible in your experience. So with the Ace of Swords, this is communication. This is thoughts, ideas. So you're going to be getting new thoughts. You're going to be receiving new ideas, especially because I think Venus just moved back into Taurus. So Venus is at home. Venus is in her house. Um, You can book a reading. I actually have a sale on readings this weekend. This is a collective reading, not individual. But if you want to pay and book a reading, go into my go inbox me. I have basic, just general, you don't need a whole lot readings available for 30. This will be until the 21st. And then if you need like divination, where you need like more than, I need more than just like do this, do that. I need to know what's going on, what's the medicine, why am I doing this? Do I have to need to get an offering? You need that. That's going to be divination. So by all means, I have no glasses on, but True Camille, you can inbox me and I can invoice you for a reading. That is not a problem. If you go to my Instagram, I don't think I've posted anything recently. So if you go to my Instagram, you can actually see what the PayPal and Cash App is to pay for the reading. And then I can get with you on when you can send me your email for the recording. But yeah, this is the energy for y'all. And I am so geeked. I am so freaking excited for us and all these changes and transitions. Just some, reminders that one, don't, if you're gonna charge your crystals, charge them tomorrow. Charge them tomorrow. Don't put them out there tonight. Mm-mm. If you got a new moon ritual you want to do it before midnight or wait till tomorrow evening. Chaotic energy. Set your intentions, but understand if God's got a bigger plan for you, because there's going to be twists of fate and that you can't see coming. And it's going to happen fast because this is a fire sign moon. So it's going to happen really, really. There's going to be like, oh, God, I didn't see that coming. So just, be gentle with yourselves and hold yourselves close. I'm live again today on TikTok. I'll be live again on TikTok at 5 Eastern Standard Time. So in about 90 minutes. And I'm going to be doing a conversation on why African spirituality, especially specifically Ifa. And this is in preparation to my Practically Spiritual course, Practically Spiritual Practice and Ifa, for anyone that is interested who has maybe been going through their spiritual journey, is needing some structure, organization. You're looking for a mentor, an elder. You are interested in potentially going into a traditional African practice, but you're kind of like, where should I begin? This class is where you should begin. So if you have questions, definitely inbox me, but I'm going to let y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you so much for jumping into the live. Thank you for the likes, especially on TikTok. Thank you to you, Ia, for popping in. I'm going to drink this here water, sip, sip. Inbox me if you want to catch one of those readings on sale, because they're only going to be on sale for 2 more days. And I will holler at y'all later. Peace. Mm-hmm.